Hello, my name is Jason. I've been asked by My Healing to give a little account of my experience with them. You see, I'd been suffering from a great deal of pain for a number of years in actual fact. My job is very tense and IT related. I find myself sitting at computers or working with computers for literally many hours of a day. And obviously as human beings we shouldn't be sitting down so long, certainly not putting all that pressure and stress on our body. So I ended up at the doctor really asking about what were these pains going on in my body, and typically they did a little bit of identification and they determined that I had metal carpal tunnel syndrome in my right arm, and that was causing a whole lot of pain, and apparently the same pain was being referred down to my back and so on. So I was referred to a variety of people, from chiropractors to physiotherapists to body stress release experts and acupuncturists and all the kinds of people in between that you could possibly be sent to. And to be honest, none of it really made a difference whatsoever. And I was in despair. I was literally just being prescribed lots of painkillers and so on, and that was the only way out, or so it seemed. And then a friend told me about My Healing, and in particular about Zandri, the owner and founder. And after being bugged a little bit and kind of ignoring it, because I was skeptical, I'd already been to all of these experts who and paid a lot of money and spent a lot of time on them, and really feeling quite skeptical about the fact that anybody could solve the problem. I'd already been referred to possibly going for an operation and so on, and that was really what I was thinking about. So you can imagine I was a little bit skeptical until I eventually made the call to Zandri at My Healing and had a chat with her over the phone, and I could tell immediately there was a different sense of the way I was being handled and the way even my pain concerns were being handled. So I decided to give Zandri a chance, and I set up an appointment and I went through. She started out with an evaluation and an assessment on, you know, my body and my history and what could have been causing it, because she was very interested in creating a therapy session around helping my pain problems, but she was also very interested in helping me understand what was probably causing it and how I could prevent this in future. And she told me about referred pain and different nerves and ligaments and tendons and all this kind of thing that I'd never really given much concern to before. So suddenly I was in a position to actually understand more, and we started the therapy session. And I told her there was pain here, and I had pain in my back, and I had pain down my leg, and you know, there were all these different kind of areas, and she got to work on totally different areas of my body and working with different therapy sessions and so on. And I immediately started to feel very strange about the area that she was working on the completely opposite side of my body, and I felt that it was attending to pain, for example, in my leg was actually in my back as referred pain. So really, even just lying there during the therapy session, I could feel that the areas were incredibly sensitive and tender. But as she worked on them, so I could feel the pain on the other sides of my body really disappearing, and I felt hopeful, at least at that point. And anyway, she continued through the process, and by the time we got to the end of the session, I really felt exhausted. I felt like there was all this tension and stress had been released, but I could already feel different. I could already feel a great degree of the pain that I was experiencing already dropping off. So she guided me to have a very calm evening that evening, you know, drink lots of water, get some rest and so on, and she guided me that I could expect to be quite tender and bruised in the areas that we had worked on, because we had worked on quite a number of areas in a short space of time. And the next morning I woke up and immediately I was able to have a good restful night's sleep without the painkillers that I was typically taking and so on, and I just woke up and I could feel different already. The pain was not 100% gone, but it had reduced incredibly so. So I examined the areas. I felt that they were sensitive, certainly to the touch and so on, a little bit of bruising and so on, but Zandri had warned me about that and asked me, you know, let's give it a few days and then sense the improvement. Well, I can tell you by day 2 and 3, the bruising and the tenderness in the areas that she had worked on had already started dissipating completely, and I could feel the real effects of the treatment and the therapy, and I was blown away. And I was back on the phone, you know, congratulating her on obviously finding the spots that had been causing my troubles and so on, but also desperately wanting to book another session, which she guided me against and said, you know, we should wait about a week for me to fully recover, get the benefit of that treatment treatment and then start afresh. And I did that. And after 2 or 3 sessions, I was able to completely eradicate this pain. The doctors had been telling me to go for operations and so on and give me lots of painkillers. She was able to completely eradicate the pain from 3 different areas throughout my body. And I was discovered that the metacarpal syndrome could have been taken care of, the sciatic nerve, which was a pinch in my back spine area, was all taken care of. And I was blown away with the results. Of course, I told all my friends and family and so on, and a number of other people have since gone to Zandria, and I'm very happy to say that even one of my friends who had also been prescribed a serious back op decided to give this a try first, and with some exercise and treatments and so on, she is now put off the operation indefinitely and is going through a degree of improvement with every therapy session. So I'm just blown away, and I'm sitting here and I'm just absolutely amazed that I was so skeptical of this kind of treatment and didn't think that it could help me. And it doesn't even matter. Some of my friends have got bad circulation and varicose veins and diabetes kind of side effects and so on. And it doesn't only just mean sore muscles or anything of that nature. Zandria is very, very accomplished and very knowledgeable about lymph nodes and sciatic nerves and all these things that I can't tell you about. But I can be assured that you're going to get good advice from her and great sense of person. She's a great person. So if you're in pain, or if you've been told that there is no treatment for what you've got and just take a lot of painkillers, I can tell you that you should absolutely have done what I've done right now, but do it a lot earlier. Don't waste a lot of money on other things such as physio and chiropractor and so on, which had no effect, but get started and at least give this kind of treatment a good try, because I can tell you it will change your life, hopefully as much as it did for me. So this is a short little just a testimonial on my experience with Zandria My Healing, and you should give that a try as soon as possible. Well, good luck to you. Bye-bye.